Hello and welcome to Bliss Frequency. This isn't just a channel, it's an energy transmission. My name is Trixie, and today we are going to work on the tarot and oracle spread. I'm going to pull a card, an oracle card for our universal guidance. And today I have Release the Dark Wound, Let Love Live. And as always, I'm going to read from the guidebook because it is blissful. If we detach something from its source too soon, trying to force it to become what it is not yet ready or willing to become, we can unintentionally sap it of its strength and kill it. There is a dark wound in the consciousness of humanity which demands perfection and denies process. If you are thinking of publishers before you have even written the book, if you are comparing your unfinished song idea to the latest best-selling pop release, if you have decided you are not good enough or worthy enough to succeed before you've given it everything you've got and asked for divine help, then this dark wound has you in its grasp. You have to let go of the death grip of perfectionism and let yourself and your ideas live. Love is abundant, creative, and inspiring. It moves us so much more joyously and creatively than fear. You are being asked to honor the path of your own love. What inspires you, what feels exciting, joyful, and perhaps even rather different. Let that live. Release the dark wounding of false belief. There are countless stories of vastly successful artists who very nearly binned the project that was the making of their career because of the despair fostered by their own dark nature. They doubted. They were uncertain. Was their work any good? Was it useless? They struggled to believe in the right of a work to come to life, whether it was accepted, revered, or rejected by others or not. They nearly lost their work to fear. Undoubtedly, there have been many times when this has actually happened and the work was not saved, not allowed to live. Do not let this happen to you. Whether something is meant to be commercially oriented venture or a more personal creation for your own therapeutic healing, it must be allowed to be without judgment, without criticism, even without premature evaluation. It must be allowed to be what it is, and only time, love, patience, and attention will reveal it. So that was, wow, that's really excellent advice. And it does take a lot. When you are creating, you are showing the world a part of you. And it's a very vulnerable feeling to share your creations with others, because a lot of the time you get constructive criticism, and that's not always what is needed. Sometimes what's needed is just a, wow, you did that. That's impressive. I'm so proud of you. Because a lot of us never got that as children and we're still looking for it. But now you have that permission to just love what you are doing. Even if it's not your best work, just the act of having the bravery to put something creative out there and expend time, effort, and patience and pouring your emotions into it is a very sacred and blessed event in itself. In the past, events that came before, we have the Star card. And the Star card is about lifting your spirits after a painful or even violent transformation of yourself. You have just been through the ringer and you went deep and you worked on yourself. You sought comfort in Source Creator and you put the work in for your self-healing process. And now that you have done the work and you've examined everything and you know what happened and why, now is the time to just release it and let it go. And thank all that trauma and all that darkness for the lessons that you learned and how it's helped shape you into the person you are now, and you've grown. But it's time to let it go and move on into the present, which brings us to our next card. And this is where you are now. Now you are in your abundance. The 10 of Cups. And if you're not feeling it now, you should be. And if you're not, you will be. Because you literally went through hell. And it was difficult, and you're still standing. And you are holding on to yourself in a beautiful way. And like you have never appreciated and stood up for yourself before. And if you're not getting that happy family feeling vibe, then it's incoming. Emotional fulfillment is different for everyone in different stages of their life. So this may be more of a calm kind of fulfillment, a mature kind of fulfillment that may look different than it has before. And maybe it's a more selective kind of fulfillment. But feeling a sense of peace and gratitude and wholeness, and that you are whole and complete in your own self, is the best form of abundance that one could wish for. And that is my sense with where you are right now. And the next card will be what led to the current state. This is like the bridge card. Temperance was the bridge, and you worked on a lot of past behaviors and habits that no longer served. And I don't think it was necessarily what you wanted to be doing all of the time, but extricating yourself from people and situations that kept pulling you into the darkness was the best thing that you've ever done for yourself. Because taking care of your body is one of the most kind and loving things you can do for yourself. And a lot of you were never allowed to learn that lesson because you were born into what I consider a fated family. And a fated family is one that there's a lot of darkness, abuse, and trauma. And you're just born into that family to learn how to walk away from trauma and abuse and not wrap that. No, don't make that your identity. That is something that you survived and you overcame. And now you are a much more balanced, stable, reliable, kind-hearted, loving person because of what you went through. And you don't have to constantly play victim. You don't even have to play warrior. But you do want to stand up for injustice, and you won't tolerate it. And that makes you very powerful and very admirable. It's quite impressive. So the next card I'm going to pull is the future card. What's possible? The Magician. So I get the sense you're being called to delve more into spiritual teachings, maybe not necessarily the occult as we formally described hidden teachings. I think a lot of it is about quantum energy and healing modalities such as Reiki, or I'm completely intrigued by quantum healing hypnosis technique by Dolores Cannon, and meditation and getting in touch with your spirit guides. And everybody has spirit guides, and I often use tarot cards to help me communicate with my spirit guides, because I just think sometimes events are too close in my face to understand what's happening. It's like so in my face, I can't see it. So anything that you can do that helps you tap into the divine and hear from your guides and get the advice that you need from Source Creator is just wonderful. And you can take the dogma out of it and just view these things as tools. You're not hurting anything or anyone. These are just tools. But with some tools, you do have to be careful because they're not just tools. You can open a portal to negative entities that would steer you wrong, and they often come disguised as help. So I understand the reticence, but if you are practicing spiritual hygiene, you're praying, you are having healing modalities performed on you, or you're performing them yourself, such as Reiki or saging or just being in nature, that is setting yourself up for success. Eating healthy, avoiding any kinds of mind-altering substances is also beneficial, because dark entities like it when we are on those things, and then they will flock around you. And when you decide to stop doing those things, that is often an invitation for them to come and try to trip you up, because they don't want you to stop doing those things. They enjoy it, and they don't have a corporeal body, so they, use you to do that for them, and then they can almost essentially have a contact high being in your presence. So temperance is important, and working with spiritual gifts is important, but do be careful and take care. What is your intention? Make sure you are cleansed yourself, your body, your mind, your soul. So be careful with what you ingest, and just come at these things with knowing that you are protected and safe, and your intention is for your best and highest good, and everything is going to work out just fine. And the last card we have is the block. What is blocking you from what is possible? You are worried and stressed out about a lot of things, because getting where you are took a toll, and you did take the time to rest and heal and recover. But the good part is you've done the work. And then we go back to our guiding oracle card, which is release the dark wound and let love live. If you sense like anything from your past that's creeping up on you, take that sword and cut it out of your life. And that's how you move forward, because they will try to pull you back in, especially if they sense that you are happy, you're living your life, you're feeling positive, you have a plan, you're going through it. They want to come in. They want to tear you down. They want to pull you back into those old negative patterns of thought and neglecting yourself. They want to tell you, this is stupid. That's not going to work. What do you think you're doing? And just belittle you and make you feel like crap about yourself. And you don't need that. And you don't need to worry about people like that. And they shouldn't have any power over keeping you awake at night. You have everything that you need to succeed. You're putting the work in, and that's when you really have to trust in source. You have all the tools that you need for your future. Practice your craft and just think, it's now. I am doing this now, and it's more of a quantum thing. And the more positive your thoughts are, the more positive things are going to come in. But if you're dwelling on what happened in the past, then more of those kind of energies are going to come in. So work on writing yourself a positive affirmation, post it on your mirror, and say it every day for 3 weeks, and then you instill a good habit. But I get the sense that you've done this before and you know what to do. It's the holidays and things are strange right now. Just the collective energy feels really dense and heavy. But again, I attribute a lot of that to what CERN is up to, HARP, and there's a lot of seismic movement and unrest because we are catching on to what the globalists want, what they're up to, how they lie and manipulate and steal, and everything is just being revealed. So this is one final push to get through that little keyhole into the light. And you've got this. You definitely got this. And I just am so proud of you, of what you have overcome and the work that you've put into yourself to get where you are now. And the world is a better place for having people like you in it. And don't ever forget that. Take care and God bless. Thank you.